All right, welcome to the CryptoWise channel. My name is Dave. If you're new to the channel, we talk about macro technical analysis, facts, and the charts, staying cool, calm, and focused. No news, no hype, no narrative, just the charts. So let's look at today. We're going to be talking about Morpho by request. It's a very new coin, and yeah, if you guys have any requests, also any altcoins you guys would like to see an analysis on, please share in the comments. And it's all about macro technical analysis. And this one here, Morpho, doesn't have much data. It only goes back to mid-November 2024. So it just hasn't had 2 years yet. It's getting close to a couple years. Pretty simple how I would do this one. If you're looking to collect some Morpho, which I don't have any fundamental reasons why, other than the fact that it's a lending protocol where you can go and deposit some money and get some funds in return, right? Deposit collateral and you can get funds in return. So, yeah, and overall, the way it's structured, it's looking like so far on the weekly time frame, it does look like it's pretty stable, and I don't see anything that's telling me that it'll just collapse like a lot of new coins do. It looks pretty stable. So, and by that, it's because we have a low and a higher low, and we do have some highs and lower highs. So it makes kind of a triangle. It used to be a triangle. It could have been measured this way, like this, and then it broke out of this triangle that's kind of floating above it. Although usually triangles, if they were acting like triangles, then it would have probably had a more explosive move. So I don't consider that actually what it was acting on. So essentially whatever's forming here is being extended. So it could be a larger kind of, maybe an ascending triangle pattern. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Could be a larger, yeah, there we go. Something like this. On the 2 weekly, it's more visible. A kind of ascending triangle, and maybe in a few years, we could see this dip here, actually soon. If, by the way, the reason why I think we're going to see a dip here is because I did talk about this video here, this one here, the Bitcoin crash.
Hey guys,
Crash warning, 48K coming in August. We had historical dumps in August every single bear market in this particular phase of the bear market. So it is possible that we see that again. And if we get that dump that I've been talking about in there, it's very possible we could see this come down and do another higher low, maybe up to here, or maybe actually wick into that lower support and start to make its way back up, and then potentially break out of this triangle and move to the upside. If you're not sure what a ascending triangle does, we have it here. Images. Oh, sorry, guys. Like this. Perfect. That's what I'm getting at. You have higher lows, equal highs, price breaks out, back test, pushes up. Ascending triangle pattern, right? Ascending, because the lower highs are ascending. And so the higher lows are ascending, pardon me. And yeah, so that's basically what an ascending triangle does, which kind of looks like this, wouldn't you say? Right? Higher lows, equal highs. And yeah, but this is the 2 weekly time frame. This could take several years before this actually plays out. So what I would say is, I mean, as a trader, the only way I would accumulate, I wouldn't trade this on leverage, but the only way I'd be accumulating this would be down here around this support zone. So somewhere between these candle closes here at $1.34 and around wherever it touches this upward sloping trend line. So if that happens, in August, which could happen, you know, then so be it, and that'd be a good place to accumulate. Space between this high or low and this area here is about 97%. So you could see that happen in a couple months, 2-3 months maybe, depending on how it decides to move. Also, it's possible it doesn't go down there too as well. It's a challenging one because some of these newer coins, they kind of have a mind of their own because they're still a baby. They're smaller, much smaller market caps. So, and they're just starting out. So there's a lot of excitement with new projects that new investors get in, or that it gets well. How do I say this? It gets well put out there. Basically, it's well showcased, and people get a lot of interest, and then it brings in a lot of people to purchase, and then it goes on a move to the upside. But still, I can't argue to the fact that we are seeing Bitcoin. We are seeing Bitcoin's potential move down here. One thing I've been watching on Bitcoin is this 12-hour RSI. Let me just show you. This will be a quick update on Bitcoin. There we go. So if I go to the 12-hour, wow, look at that RSI, it's just like flat in the 2-weekly. Yeah, so here is what I'm looking at. So check this out. This is kind of one of my indicators as to why I think the market's going down on the smaller time frame. So we have, and these lines on the 12-hour, they're not always the greatest on the 12-hour because they're also closing the daily at the same time. So, but you get to see a closer up version of it. And so you see here, I'm just going to show you this, and then I think that's going to be it. So we see this there, and then this was that candle there, that green one, the last big green one right there. And then this one, back test here, is basically that last green one right there. So, right, what I'm showing you is this entire consolidation was supported on an RSI uptrend that eventually clearly broke, was in this pullback, or in this breakdown. And then this pullback here was that green candle there. And then that was the last peak before it dropped. Could be wrong here. I mean, it could just consolidate here for a little while, and or maybe until tomorrow. Maybe until tomorrow after the FOMC stuff might be a catalyst to this to fluctuate and then finally break down. But yeah, same exact thing happened in May before this big leg down is happening right now. This breakdown of this 12-hour RSI is telling us that the momentum is now negative on the 12-hour, essentially meaning that the price is weak and likely to see more downside from here. So that being said, we're very close to seeing the price continue down. Our first indicator of the price actually seeing more downside would be the break of the prior low right here at 63,700. Once we close the 12-hour candle below that, then it should pretty much accelerate the move down into these lows here between 60 and 58K. And if we break that level, then we're going probably down to 50K at the very least, 50K, 49K, which is the target of this third leg that I've been talking about in that video I mentioned 5 days ago. So there you go. If that's helpful, like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what other altcoins you guys are interested in, and I'll see you later. Peace.